Welcome to NEGL Dad. This is going to be my rock, paper, scissors machine learning program, and this is going to be part one. I just drew the animations, and I trained my app with machine learning to recognize the background without a rock, the background with a rock, the background with a paper, and the background with scissors. So when I do the paper, rock, scissors program, it'll recognize that what I'm doing, and it'll play a little game. It's a best out of 3 against the computer versus the player. And let me just show you how it works. Here is my brick already ready to run the program. It's going to do 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to do paper. And scissors beats me, so it's happy. So it's gonna player computer 1, player 0. So next up I'm gonna do rock. And oh, it does scissors, so it's sad because I beat scissors. So he's got 1 point, I got 1 point. Next up, do rock again. Oh, rock versus rock, it's a meh face. So we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna do scissors this time. Oh, against paper. Guess what? It has 1 point and I have 2. I'm about to beat it. I'm gonna do paper. Against rock, I win. So yeah, computers do not rule the world this time around. When I do a little you win, and I did a little fireworks animation for when you win. So since the program is random, it picks a random value for the rock, the paper, the scissors for the computer. It can win if you just don't pick the right one to beat it. So let me see if I can do a video of it losing to me and show you the animation or what happens. So let me run the program.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
Paper against my rock, it beats me. It's completely random, so I'm not doing it on purpose.
3, 2,
I'm gonna do scissors this time.
shoot.
Rock, it's gonna beat me. I'm gonna do rock this time again.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
Rock versus rock.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
Paper versus paper.
3, 2,
Let's do
one,
scissors.
shoot.
I beat it. Okay, so it still has 2 points. I got 1.
3, 2,
I'm gonna do scissors again.
shoot.
Scissors to scissors.
3, 2, 1,
Rock.
shoot.
Sorry, computer. 2-2. Next one
3,
wins.
2, 1, shoot.
Paper. It beats me. So it's happy. So it gets 3 points. I only get 2. You lose. And then it laughs at me. Anyway, that's what happens when you lose rock, paper, scissors against the computer. So when my program starts, it's quite simple. I basically construct my program and I set the variables. I have 4 variables that I set to 0: the player score, the computer score, and the player results. And also the is tie. Right now it's set to false. And this down here is just if, for example, the hub, if the pitch is less than 0, meaning it's negative, it'll set the orientation to upside down. But if the pitch is greater than 0, meaning positive, it means it's standing up straight. It'll set the orientation to upright. So that's basically just what it does when it sets it up. And then it sends a message 1. message 1, when it receives, it enters this forever loop, and then it runs the my blocks, rock paper scissors, determine winners. And so let me talk about those first. So right here in the my blocks, the function that I define for rock paper scissors, first when it does this, starts the block, it does the 3 2 1 shoot sound, and then it'll play the animation, the 3 2 1, and then this is when the computer results is determined. So it picks a random number between 1 and 3. So number 1 is a rock, number 2 is paper, and number 3 scissors. So the computer picks its results, and then while it's doing that, it's actually telling you 3 2 1 shoot, and then does a little play animation. And I have it to wait a second so that it gives you enough time for you to give it your scissors or whatever. And then after waiting 1 second, it'll start predicting. So when it starts predicting, if it determines that you guessed a rock, then it'll set your player result to 1. Like I've said, 1 means rock. If you did a paper, it'll set your player result to paper. If you did a scissors, it'll set your player results to scissors. And then it stops predicting. The next my block is determine winner. So how you determine the winner is it compares the computer results to your results. So for example, if the computer result was a 1, meaning a rock, and I have it up here, rock, paper, scissors. If the computer guessed a 1 and you guessed a 1, that means you're both rocks. So if the computer guessed a 1, it'll play the rock animation, and then it'll turn on the meh face because you both guessed the same thing. And it sets the boolean is a tie to true. I'll show you what that means later. So if it is a tie, it's true, and I have something else that it does. So if a computer guesses rock and you do paper, well, guess what? Paper beats rock, frowny face, player score is increased by 1. The same thing is if it guessed rock and you guessed scissors, well, rock beats scissors, it's happy, computer score is increased by 1. So anyway, this is a really long chain, basically a bunch of if statements that depending on what the computer guessed and what you guessed, it'll determine who gets the point, and it'll determine what animation gets played. So for example, if it is a tie, like if both of you guessed scissors, let's talk about the is a tie, because next up, let me go all the way up here. It'll determine if is a tie is false. 0 means false. Any number above 0 means it's true. It only displays the score if it is false, if it's not a tie, meaning either the computer won or you won. And then right here, if it ends the game, for example, if the computer score equals 3, or if the player equals 3, that means one of you has won. So if one of you has won, it'll go into this if loop. If the computer score is greater than yours, meaning the computer won, it'll write you lose, and it'll start the chuckle sound and it'll play the laughing animation. However, if the opposite is true, which is what this else means, right? If the player score is greater than, it'll play the you win, and it'll do the celebrate. And let me show you what the celebrate is. You know what? I didn't show the display score one. But when you win, it'll celebrate. So it'll start the celebration animation, and it'll play the hammer and the punch sound, which to me sounds more like the firework going off. And then there's 3 fireworks going off. 1, 2, 3, and that's how it celebrates. The display score, it's another my block that it only displays the score if is a tie is false, meaning one you won. The computer won a point or the player won a point. And basically, if it determines that one of you won the point, then it'll write the computer, and then it'll write the computer score. And then it'll wait, and then it'll write the player, and it'll show the player score. Anyway, I hope that this program made sense.